Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be exploring a book that dives into Hindu philosophy, or Sanatana Dharma, eternal way of life, as the book puts it.
And you know what's interesting is that even though it's rooted in this ancient wisdom, it still grapples with, those universal questions about life, suffering, and purpose.
Right.
And these are questions that people have been asking for thousands of years, and we're still asking them today.
Yeah, and the introduction kind of starts off with this question that really caught my eye.
Okay.
It asks, why do people turn to religion and spirituality in the first place? What are they actually seeking?
Well, we all have these innate longings, right? For guidance or for comfort when things are tough, trying to understand our place in the universe.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's even that mystical
Yeah.
experience that connects us to something bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely. And the book doesn't shy away from the challenge of defining what Hinduism actually is.
Yeah.
It even acknowledges that it's not just one religion with one founder or just one holy book.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
You have this incredibly diverse tradition with a whole spectrum of beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll find polytheism, atheism, everything in between.
Wow.
It's like this vibrant tapestry that has evolved over centuries.
Yeah.
And there's no one central authority.
So if it's that diverse, what connects all these different schools of thought?
That's a good question.
What makes them all Hindu?
Yeah, that's where the book begins to sort of unpack these common threads that run through all these different philosophical schools.
Okay.
And concepts like karma and dharma.
Okay.
The idea of Maya, the illusory nature of reality.
Yeah.
Moksha, the pursuit of liberation. And Brahman, the ultimate reality.
I'll be honest, when I first saw terms like Maya and Brahman, I was like, whoa, this is a little too philosophical for me.
Sure.
But then I noticed how the book actually structured its exploration. It's a conversation between two characters, I am and Brahman, and I thought that was really interesting.
I think that was a really brilliant choice by the author because Iham represents that part of us that's driven by the ego, constantly questioning, seeking answers.
Yeah.
And Brahman acts as the guide, offering insight based on the ancient teachings.
So it's almost like we're eavesdropping on a conversation between a seeker and a wise teacher.
Exactly.
And it just makes all these complex ideas so much more accessible.
Yeah, and it invites the reader to be part of that conversation, asking their own questions and relating these concepts to their own lives.
That's cool. And the introduction also emphasizes that this book isn't trying to be this exhaustive encyclopedia of Hinduism.
Right.
Instead, it focuses on these core philosophical themes and really encourages the reader to contemplate and connect these ideas to their own experiences.
Yeah, it encourages a deeper exploration than just an intellectual understanding. It's about applying it to your own life and seeing how it resonates with your own journey.
So essentially, the book's like a guide, but it leaves it up to the reader to forge their own path.
Exactly.
And discover their own truth. That's pretty powerful.
And the introduction goes on to sort of lay the groundwork by outlining the 6 prominent schools of thought within Hindu philosophy.
Oh, wow.
We have Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika Mimamsa, and Vedanta.
Wow, 6 different schools of thought. That's
a lot.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing even with all that diversity, there's still some fundamental principles that kind of tie them all together.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The book does a great job of highlighting those common threads, like the concept of karma and dharma. And Maya that we talked about earlier, it even touches on moksha, the ultimate goal of liberation, and the concept of Brahman as this ultimate reality.
Okay, so we've just dipped our toes into the introduction.
Yeah, just barely scratched the surface.
But I'm already intrigued.
Okay.
What comes next in this philosophical adventure?
Well, the book dives deeper into the nature of attachment and desire and how they contribute to our suffering.
Okay.
But it also offers a path toward freedom from suffering.
Interesting.
It's about recognizing the illusory nature of our attachments and cultivating a sense of detachment without becoming emotionless or indifferent.
Wait, hold on. Detachment.
Yeah.
Freedom from suffering. That sounds like something I'd hear at a meditation retreat.
I know what you mean.
Not on a philosophical deep dive.
Yeah, but trust me, the book explains it in a way that's both profound and practical, and it doesn't shy away from the nitty-gritty of human experience.
Okay.
And it uses the dialogue between our ego represented by AMM and this ultimate reality, Brahman, to unpack these concepts.
You've piqued my curiosity.
Good.
It sounds like this book offers this really unique blend of ancient wisdom
Yeah.
and practical insights that we can actually apply to our modern lives.
And I think you'll be surprised by how relevant these ancient teachings are to the challenges we face today. It's not just about abstract philosophy.
Yeah.
It's about understanding ourselves and the world around us on this deeper level.
Yeah.
And the way it's written with AM asking the questions many of us have pondered ourselves makes it even more relatable.
I'm ready to dive deeper.
Awesome.
Let's continue our deep dive into the heart of Hindu philosophy and see where this journey takes us.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're diving into chapter 2 now.
Yeah.
And the book kind of tackles this idea of attachment and desire.
Right.
And I have to admit, when I hear those words, I immediately think about, like, material possessions.
Sure.
Like, is that what it's all about?
Yeah, it's easy to jump to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But the book takes a much broader view of it.
Okay.
It explains that attachment really arises from any kind of a desire, like that yearning for something that we perceive as missing in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be anything, material things, relationship status,
Sure.
even certain outcomes or experiences.
Right, like that if only I had this, then I would finally be happy.
That's it. That feeling of lack, that something outside of ourselves is going to complete us.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really insightful. The book argues that this attachment, this clinging to these external things,
Yeah.
is actually the root of our suffering.
Okay, I'm going to need you to unpack that a bit.
Sure.
Like, how does wanting something lead to pain?
Well, think about a time when you were really attached to a particular outcome.
Okay.
Like maybe getting a promotion or a relationship working out a certain way.
Yeah.
What happened when things didn't go according to plan?
Honestly, it was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Felt like my whole world was falling apart.
That's the thing about attachment, right?
Yeah.
It makes our happiness conditional
Yeah.
on these external factors that we can't really control.
It can't.
When we cling tightly to something, we're constantly living in this fear of losing it.
Yeah.
And then when we inevitably do, whether it's a job or relationship or even like a cherished possession, we experience that deep sense of pain and loss.
It's like we've built our entire foundation of happiness on shifting sand.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
And the book really highlights that true happiness, that lasting sense of inner peace, can't be found in those things that are impermanent and constantly changing.
So how do we break free from this cycle of attachment and suffering?
That's the big question. Does that mean giving up everything we care about and becoming hermits in a cave?
Right.
No, thankfully not.
Okay.
The book introduces this concept of detachment.
Okay.
Now, I know that word can sound a little harsh,
Yeah.
like we're supposed to become these cold, emotionless robots or something.
Yeah.
But it's not about suppressing our feelings or becoming indifferent to the world.
Okay.
It's about shifting our perspective.
So you can still love and care deeply about people and things,
Yes.
but without that, like, desperate need to possess or control them?
Exactly. Think of it this way. Like, imagine holding a bird in your hand.
Right.
If you grip it too tightly, you're going to crush it. But if you open your hand and allow it to perch freely,
Yeah.
it can choose to stay or to fly away. It's about finding that delicate balance between engagement and non-attachment.
That's such a beautiful image.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually put this into practice?
Right.
It's one thing to grasp the concept,
Yeah.
but how do we actually live by it?
And that's where the book's use of this dialogue between Aham, the ego self, and Brahman becomes so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aham is asking the questions that I think many of us grapple with.
Right.
How do I find peace? How do I escape suffering?
Okay.
So what does Brahman have to say about detachment?
Yeah.
Well, the book dives into this idea that detachment really starts with understanding the nature of our ego. That part of us that's constantly seeking validation and security and happiness in these external things.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our true identity, our true source of happiness, lies beyond those fleeting desires and attachments.
Okay, so how do we make that shift? Like from an ego-driven attachment to this like deeper sense of self?
Yeah, it sounds pretty abstract and maybe even a little out of reach.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not an overnight transformation.
Oh,
it's
sure.
this gradual process of self-discovery and inner work. The book actually uses this really beautiful analogy to illustrate this.
All right.
The analogy of a wave and the ocean.
Interesting. Tell me more.
So picture a wave rising and falling in this vast ocean.
Right.
The wave, like our individual ego, might perceive itself as separate and distinct from the ocean.
Yeah.
But in reality, the wave is nothing but the ocean itself.
Wow.
It's a temporary form that the water takes,
Right.
but it's always connected to that vast source.
That's profound.
Yeah.
So are you saying that our ego, that sense of separation and individuality, is
Yeah.
actually an illusion?
Exactly.
Wow.
And what the book suggests is that through spiritual practice, self-reflection, and deeper understanding of our true nature, we can begin to experience this oneness with Brahman, the ultimate reality, the ocean of consciousness from which everything arises. And in that realization, that merging back into the source, that's where we find true liberation from the suffering that's caused by our ego-driven desires and attachments.
Okay, that's a lot to take in.
It is.
But I can definitely see how the book's approach, like using dialogue and relatable examples and these powerful analogies, makes these really complex ideas so much more accessible.
And even inspiring.
Yes, definitely.
And it goes even further than that. The book doesn't just present these concepts as like abstract theories.
Right.
It offers practical guidance on how to cultivate detachment, how to shift our perspective, and how to start experiencing that deeper sense of freedom and fulfillment.
In our everyday lives.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see the appeal of this book. It's not just about like an intellectual understanding.
Right.
It's about like embarking on this personal journey of self-discovery.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that this journey connects to another key concept in Hindu philosophy.
Okay.
Karma.
All right, let's talk about it.
But it's not the simple what goes around comes around idea that we often hear about.
Yeah.
It's much more nuanced and profound than that.
I'm ready to dive in.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about karma.
Okay.
I have to admit, I have a kind of like superficial understanding of this concept. I always thought of it as like this cosmic system of reward and punishment.
Sure.
Like if I do something bad, I'm going to get punished somehow down the line. Is that even remotely close?
It's a common misconception.
Okay.
But as the book explains, karma is not some kind of cosmic scorecard.
Okay.
It's way more nuanced and profound than that.
Okay.
The word karma actually translates to action.
Oh.
And it encompasses all of our thoughts, words, and deeds.
So it's not just about the big, obvious actions.
Right.
But even our thoughts and words contribute to this karmic balance.
Exactly. It's about understanding that every action, whether it's physical, mental, or verbal, creates this ripple effect.
Okay.
The book describes it as this law of cause and effect, but it's not this rigid, predetermined system.
Okay.
It's more like a web of interconnected actions and consequences that shape our experiences.
So there's room for free will in all this.
Absolutely.
So it's not like our fate is set in stone based on our past actions.
No, the book emphasizes that we have the power to choose our actions in each moment.
Okay.
And it's those choices, those actions, that shape our future experiences.
Right.
It's not about being punished or rewarded by some external force.
Right.
It's about understanding how our own actions create the conditions for our own happiness or suffering.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little fuzzy on how exactly actions from our past influence our present and future.
Okay.
Like, is it some kind of invisible force that's constantly like pushing and pulling us in certain directions?
That's a great question. And the book addresses that by introducing this concept of samskaras.
Samskaras.
Yeah. Think of them as seeds that are planted in the field of our minds.
Okay.
Through our actions.
Okay.
Each action plants a seed. And over time, those seeds sprout and grow into tendencies, habits, and patterns of thinking and behaving.
So if I constantly engage in like negative thoughts or actions, I'm essentially planting a whole bunch of negative seeds that will eventually grow into negative tendencies.
That's the idea, but the beautiful thing about this concept is that it works both ways.
Okay.
So if we consciously choose to engage in positive, skillful actions, then we're planting positive seeds that can blossom into these virtuous qualities and lead to greater happiness and fulfillment.
So it's not about being passive victims of our past actions.
Right.
It's about actively shaping our present and future through the choices that we're making.
Precisely. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. The book explains that this karmic process isn't just limited to this lifetime.
It unfolds across multiple lifetimes.
Oh, wow.
Influencing our journey through reincarnation.
Wait, are we talking about past lives here?
We are.
That's a whole other deep dive.
It is. And the book handles this concept really well. It suggests that our current circumstances, our talents, our challenges, even our tendencies and predispositions are all influenced by the seeds that we've planted in both this life and in previous lives.
So it's like we're carrying a karmic backpack
Yeah.
filled with seeds from all our past experiences.
I love that.
And those seeds are constantly influencing our present journey.
It highlights a really important point.
Okay.
We're not starting from scratch in this lifetime.
Yeah.
We're building upon the foundation that we've created through our actions over countless lifetimes.
Okay. That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But if we're constantly creating karma, is there any way to break free from this cycle?
That's the big question.
Are we just doomed to keep repeating the same patterns over and over again?
Well, that's where this concept of liberation, or moksha, comes in.
And remember, this is all being discussed through this dialogue between Aham, our inquisitive seeker, and Brahman, this embodiment of wisdom.
Okay.
And Aham is essentially asking the same questions that we are right now.
So how does Brahman address this question of, like, breaking free from this cycle of karma?
Well, the book explains that by aligning our actions with our true nature, our dharma,
Okay.
we can gradually purify our karma and eventually transcend this cycle of birth and death.
Okay.
It's about recognizing our inherent connection to Brahman, that ultimate reality, and acting in a way that reflects that understanding.
So it's not about avoiding action altogether or becoming like passive observers.
Right.
It's about acting with awareness, intention,
Yes.
and a deep understanding of this interconnectedness.
Exactly. The book beautifully articulates that the goal is not to become inactive, but to act skillfully without attachment to the results of our actions.
Like we're learning to become conscious gardeners of our own karmic landscape.
I love that.
We can't always control the seeds that have been planted in the past,
Right.
but we can choose what seeds we plant now
Yes.
and how we cultivate the garden of our minds.
That's such a powerful image. And the book provides practical guidance on how to actually cultivate this skillful action.
Okay.
It emphasizes self-awareness, cultivating virtues like compassion and kindness, and engaging in selfless service.
This is all starting to click for me.
Good.
We talked about attachment and desire as like the root of suffering.
Right.
And now we're seeing how our actions, our karma, play a crucial role in either perpetuating or breaking free from that cycle.
It's all interconnected.
Yeah, it's like this beautifully intricate tapestry
It is.
where everything's connected.
And what's so captivating about this book is that it doesn't just present these ideas as abstract concepts.
Yeah.
It guides us through this dialogue between Aham and Brahman, making these ancient teachings so relatable and applicable to our lives.
I'm feeling inspired to like pay more attention to my actions and their potential consequences.
Yeah.
Not just for myself, but for the web of interconnectedness that we're all a part of.
And that's the power of this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about applying it to our lives, making conscious choices,
Right.
and ultimately creating a more positive and fulfilling reality for ourselves and for the world around us.
This book has been a real eye-opener for me.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's given me a whole new perspective on Hindu philosophy
Good.
and its relevance to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a journey I'm going to continue exploring.
And remember, the journey doesn't end with reading the last page. The real transformation begins when we take these insights and apply them to our own lives and observe how they resonate with our own experiences and continue to cultivate that deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe around us.
Yeah, it's like the book itself says.
Yeah,
It's not about believing, it's about being and becoming.
exactly. And as we conclude this deep dive, I'm left with a question for you to ponder. The book focuses on the philosophical foundations of Hinduism, but how do these ancient principles apply to the specific challenges that we face in the modern world? It's an intriguing thought to explore as you continue your own deep dive into the heart of wisdom.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that this ancient wisdom isn't static or irrelevant.
Right.
It's a living, breathing tradition that offers these timeless insights into the human condition.
Yeah.
Insights that can guide us as we navigate the complexities of our modern lives.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the wisdom that's all around us.
Until next time, keep seeking and keep discovering.